Hello my fellow Welt lovers. V5 just dropped like a comet from the Xianzhou sky, and let me tell you, it's chaos, buffs, nerfs, heartbreak, redemption arcs, and a whole lot of copium snorting all wrapped into one update.
And today?
Oh, we're talking about our new chaos besties from 3.4, Phainon, Saber, and our boy Archer, who may or may not have been drop-kicked into the void by the dev team. So strap in, because we're going full turbo mode as we dissect these final V5 changes that could shape the next meta of Honkai Star Rail. Yes, I said final, which means there's a 99.9% chance these are the last buffs and nerfs we're seeing before 3.4 hits live, unless HOYO'S randomly decides to drop AV6 just to keep us on our toes. Topping up in Genshin or Star Rail can get expensive, and let's be honest, we've all seen those in-game prices and wished they were just a bit lower. Well, that's exactly what LDShop is here for. This is LDShop, the official top-up platform developed by the LD Player Emulator Group. It lets you top up your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Star Rail at huge discounts, up to 23% off or more. And yeah, it's super easy to use. All you need is your server and UID, and your top-up will show up in-game within just a few minutes. It's safe, reliable, and used by thousands of players. You can even compare prices, for example, something like the Supply Pass or a 6480 Stellar Jade Bundle. It's way cheaper here than in-game. If you register using my link, you'll get a 15% off coupon and an extra 5% off coupon, which can save you up to $50 on your first top-ups. Plus, LDShop gives you the same first top-up bonus you get in-game, so you're not missing out on anything. And if you're planning to spend more, here's a bonus. If you spend over $80, you'll unlock VIP status, which gives you a free supply pass and more perks. So if you're looking to save while still getting everything you normally would in-game, just use the link in the description and get Cypher while saving more. Let's start with Phainon, the pretty boy of the patch that's been riding a roller coaster of stat shenanigans. If you remember early beta, he came out the gate with a laughably low base ATK. I mean, lower than most support units in the game. You want to talk about humiliation? Imagine being a DPS and getting outclassed in raw attack stat by characters who don't even deal damage as their main job. But hey, V5 finally did our man some justice. His base ATK got buffed, and while his HP and def took a minor hit, that's honestly a fair trade. No one was building him for tanking anyway. And let's be real, this dude was getting outscaled by 4 stars in the relic buff lottery because his attack base stat just refused to show up to the party.
But now?
He's here, he's buffed, and he's ready to cash in on all those attack percent relics we've been hoarding. But the real treat is his E1, the first Eidolon that basically decides whether you're running Turbo Phainon or Lukewarm Phainon. It got revamped, and thank the Ians, it's an actual buff this time.
But now?
We're talking about a starting speed buff that hits 84% at full stacks, and the early stacks start stronger than before. You kill enemies? You scale it higher. You play smart with his tempo and turn cycling? You get more actions. This is exactly the kind of speed steroid that makes you feel like you're piloting an actual hypercarry. It's clean, it's thematic, and most importantly, it feels good. Is it enough to smooth out all the clunk he's been dealing with in beta? Not completely. But it's a much-needed course correction. Meanwhile, Saber's just over here catching win after win and smiling like she didn't already drop into beta swinging. Let's not kid ourselves, she was already strong. And now V5 just stacked more quality of life buffs onto her like a Cyber Angel cake. Her energy regen passive got upgraded. What used to kick in at 40% now activates up to 60%, meaning you're way closer to your first ultimate right at battle start. That's crucial for momentum, especially in high-pressure fights. And then there's her skill change. Now she gets her stack bonus not just at the end of her turn but also from basic and skill usage, which means more consistent ramp, more uptime, and more nuclear moments. And it doesn't stop there. Her E6, which, let's be honest, a lot of people are chasing because collab hype is real and Saber is Saber, now includes a new overflow energy mechanic. Basically, her trace lets her build up extra energy beyond the cap, up to 200, which synergizes beautifully with her entire kit. That's the kind of E6 glow-up you love to see. It's not just a flat damage boost, it's utility and scaling and more strategic ceiling. Honestly, she might be one of the best collab characters we've ever gotten in Star Rail. This ain't a Honkai Impact refugee situation. Saber is straight up thriving in the HSR multiverse. Now, deep sigh, let's talk about Archer. Oh Archer, you poor, beautiful, red-coated disaster. The devs really just came out of nowhere and kneecapped your entire damage identity. The main nuke, his skill, got hit with a brutal 40% damage nerf on its first hit. Not 5%, not 10%, but 40. That's a chunk. That's not a tweak, that's a gut punch. Especially for a character whose entire gameplay loop revolves around pressing that one skill repeatedly. It's like they took a look at his whole kit and said, nah, he's having too much fun. Now sure, there was a minor buff in that his follow-up attack now retargets a random enemy if the original one dies before it hits, which is cute, I guess. It fixes a quality of life issue. But in terms of actual power, that 40% skill nerf is the kind of thing that takes you from meta staple to maybe not this patch real quick. Remember how painful it was when Wanmei lost a few multipliers in testing? Imagine that, but double. And it's a shame, because Archer's animations are slick, his style is immaculate, and his potential in mono-quantum or multi-element follow-up teams was actually starting to take form.
But now?
If you don't have optimal supports like Sparkle or don't want to commit your main team batteries to him, you're gonna feel that nerf hard. It's especially rough because the current meta is shifting even more toward AoE and multi-hit sustainability. Boss fights aren't just about nuking a single target. You're dealing with waves, side mobs, turn manipulation, and if your single target DPS can't keep up, they fall off fast. Archer was meant to be a solution to that with his repeatable, hard-hitting skill, but now we're in a weird spot. Can he still function? Yeah, probably. Will it be as smooth? Definitely not. And don't even get me started on how this is going to make Archer mains feel when they were this close to greatness. Oh, and before anyone asks, yes, these are the final V5 changes, which means barring a miracle, these tweaks are going live. So if you're planning to pull Phainon, Saber, or Archer, these are the versions you're signing up for. And if you're in that weird space of loving the character but not loving their numbers, then welcome to the eternal gacha conundrum. To recap this emotional roller coaster, Phainon finally got his base ATK fixed and his E1 revamped into something meaningful. Saber got nothing but wins. Better stack generation, better starting energy, and a cracked D6. Archer? My guy took a 40% hit to his core identity, and now we're all praying he doesn't end up benched harder than Herta Post 1.0. And don't forget, this could all still shift when the live stream drops. It's rare, but not impossible. So as always, grain of salt, check the patch notes, and don't pre-farm too hard unless you're ready to commit. And shout out to all the other characters floating in the V5 cloud of mystery. Jinglu got an 8% ULT energy regen buff, and now her Transcendence form shreds 25% def, with extra ice pen. That's big Ice Queen damage. Blade got some HP scaling tweaks, and a bonkers 1000% taunt multiplier, which is hilarious if it actually works. Silver Wolf and Kafka? They just vibin'. No changes. Just raw drip. And Sarydra? Apparently she's not giving extra turns anymore, but let's allies recast skills without SP. Very Inazuma vibes from her. Not bad, just different. So yeah, V5 came in hot. We laughed, we cried, we screamed at the devs in 5 different languages, and now we wait. What do you guys think? Are you still going to pull for Phainon, even though his clunky ULT issue wasn't fixed? Is Saber now your must-have? Are you mourning the death of Archer's optimal damage like I am? Let me know.